So I've got these lined up. We're going to start off with Ellender at Morgan City, and we're just going to get right to it. I think that's enough intro for today. So here's Morgan City. They're going to be in their default home uniforms, as you can see here, and Ellender will be in their. We're going to modify this. This is what they wore last week. Their basic away, their default away uniform. So we're going to just do a quick modification here, and we're going to give them their red pants to go along with it. So slightly modified away uniforms today. Just a reminder, as we work through the season, you're going to see all of these teams wearing their alternate uniforms at some point throughout the season. We're going to rotate through those as the season goes on. And a real quick reminder, I did forget to do this. All 8 of these teams are available for download for use in your College Football 26 video game. All you have to do is search for my username down there at the bottom, Dreadwin94, and it'll pull up all of the teams that I've created through the Team Builder app that you can download and import into your College Football 26 video game. All 8 of these teams include 5 uniform options as well as custom rosters, and we're going to take a look at that here in just a second. Make sure that you're searching using the username search box and not the keyword search box. All right, back to the game for good now. Here we go. We're all lined up, ready to go. So I'm going to put it on. And as always, these are games under the Friday Night Lights. We're going to set it for 8 p.m. and 10-minute quarters. And we're going down to Morgan City, Louisiana, which is just to the west of Houma, Thibodaux, as you're heading down towards Lafayette. If you're heading west towards Lafayette off of Highway 90 going west, that's where Morgan City lies. So that's where we're going. Ellender Patriots versus the Morgan City Tigers. I'm going to mute my mic and kick it over to the broadcast booth, and I'll catch you guys on the other side.
Stadium buzzing, kickoff team on the field, and we are ready to get this thing started. He'll bring it back from inside his spot. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. A lot of times you run into these types of matchups, high-powered offense, big-time team against an opponent that's likely overmatched. So how do they keep this thing from getting ugly?
Well, everyone's going to have to elevate their level of play here defensively to have any chance in this one. And I'll tell you the hard part about stopping this offense, David, it's what Chip Kelly used to always say. It's a nameless, faceless opponent. They don't care who you are. They don't care what your record is. This offense comes out, and they are trying to embarrass you.
Well, the good thing is for this defense, it's been talked about all week, right? Like, you're not good enough. This is a high-powered offense. Like, the players' attention are fully caught, right? They know exactly what they're going against. Let's see if some emotion and adrenaline can really play a factor, and they play better than they have all year.
That one never had a chance. Incomplete. Working well behind the sticks on second down. To the ground with the back.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component
simply can't do it, and the referee's caught him.
Off the play fake on first down. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down. Leaves it with the back. He'll be brought down at the 5-yard line, and this defense is on its heels. Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big third down in the red zone. Going for 6. And it's in there for a touchdown. They get set for the point after as we have the first score of the game. And the PAT makes it 7-0. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And the score comes on a 5-yard touchdown pass. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. And the offense back on the field, ready to dial up ball plays. Keeping it on the ground with the single back. Oh, he's got some space. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36.
And how about the running back, man? Rips off a big play. This offense creates some momentum, and what do? They keep their foot on the gas, right back on the football to try to keep this offense rolling.
That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. They'll run play action. Throws to the wideout. On target to the left. The defense got caught that time, and they finally get him on the ground at the 41.
And I love the awareness by the wide receiver on that play because I'm not sure that route was supposed to be that deep. You got to wonder if the receiver decided maybe to adjust the route a little bit to make sure that he got the first down.
Quickly to the tight end. And an absolutely fearless tackle, giving up size, still got him on the turf. They'll give it to the back. Ripping off a good chunk inside the 25, and they're set up with a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Wants to go up top on first down. Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver. What will they dial up on second, and a long way to go. Got it in the middle, it's Johnson. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion. Now down to the 12-yard line, it's first down. Looking to throw on first down. Nowhere to go, and the ball is loose. And the defense jumps on him. They get that turnover. And the quarterback just couldn't bring himself to pull the trigger and get rid of the ball, and they knock it free.
So let's give the secondary tons of credit, right, Reese? They were doing an outstanding job in the back end, in coverage, not allowing any receivers open, and that's why the QB had to keep holding it and keep holding it. That allowed the pass rush to get to him, and that created the turnover.
Offense working from the pistol. Takes the handoff. It's Marsh. Turning it on. Oh, what a cut. They get him stopped and out of bounds at the 45-yard line, and the big play has this offense ready to mount a threat.
Well, that's why this running game can be so dynamic. This guy is special when he has the football in his hands. He can make people miss, he can run with power, and he also has speed. You saw it on that last success all game long. They just came away with a big play, but finally give up the sack. If they can keep this quarterback standing up, though, they can extend their lead.
Now facing second and long after the defense came up with that sack. The give to the back. A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop. It'll be third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Here's a hit. Just too much of a rush, and down goes the quarterback just behind the midfield stripe at the 49.
On third and long, you know what's coming. That's exactly where you want to get an offense. The passing game has to come out. You go nickel, bring some more speed on the field, and the defensive line gets home and gets the sack to force the fourth down.
They bring the punter onto the field now. He ought to be able to use his first punt to pin him deep. He won't be able to return this one as it goes out of bounds. Final play of the quarter coming. On the option. He'll toss it. Out across the 20 to the 21-yard line, a 3-yard gain. So second down here as we're back at it after the break. We're through one period, and these receivers are showing out big time. Take a look at the stats. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game in the second quarter. They'll run it out of the shotgun. And how does he keep running? I'd be dizzy after a spin move like that. Now on first down from the 28. To the air on first down. Oh, they're after him. Just had to get rid of that one. Good job to avoid the loss. They're dealing with a second and long. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. This time it's complete. And they finally get him down, but not before. He's got him set up for business at the 49-yard line.
Hey, who says hitch passes can't get big yards? Receiver catches it, makes a guy miss, and goes and gets a first down.
Finally, this offense starting to shake the cobwebs and get things moving. It's first and 10. Looking to throw on first down. And as he throws, got his man downfield. They're able to keep him out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 2 after the big play in the passing game.
Well, this offense is showing you it doesn't take a lot of time for them to generate explosive plays through the air. Big completion on the previous play. They take another shot and hit it, and they have completely flipped the field.
The explosive play set the table. Now they got to serve the feast. Here comes the option. Quick toss. He's got it down to the 1-yard line, right on the doorstep of Pater. Looking for just one more yard. It's second and goal.
so far, no success, not protecting the quarterback. Really, the only good thing I can say so far is they haven't turned the football over.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Quarterback on the keeper. They stop him short, and we'll have a big fourth down coming. And here comes the punt team. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Fair catch called for and taken at the 30-yard line. So, guys, we'll get another look at this offense. Wants to throw on first down. And he dropped it. It looked for all the world like that would be a catch, and he just got too excited. Behind the chains now on second and long. Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense. They've got to come up with a big play on this third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Completes it in the middle. Doesn't quite make it to the first down marker. He's a yard short. And the offense with no intention to draw the defense off sides. They want to run on fourth down. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. The offense setting up shop at the 46, first and 10. The give out of the gun.
Really good surge that time by the offensive line. You saw all those bodies by the defense being pushed backwards. That opened up the crease for the ball carrier. He's able to get a really nice gain there, setting up second and inches.
The pull and throw off the RPO. Ball down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down. Pulls and fires it complete to the right. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Back to pass on second down. And the pass is incomplete thanks to a big hit. Now facing a third and long. He'll set up to throw. Flips it out on the screen. Sweet cut there. Working their way closer and closer. A third down conversion, and they've got it at the 26. From the gun, the running back looking for room. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. We'll take a quick break here. 2 minutes to play in the first half. So now it's second and long. And he drops it. Just took his eye off of it at the last minute. They run into a bit of trouble here. Third and long from the 25. And the last thing they want is to get knocked out of field goal range. And the incomplete pass will bring up fourth down. And they'll send out the field goal unit. He'll try to put one down the boulevard from 42 yards out. He splits the uprights. And guys, after the field goal, now they have the lead.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
So after putting 3 on the board, the kickoff team is out there ready to boot it away. On the run from inside his own 5. And the coverage team able to make the tackle. Good news, I guess, a lot of room to work with as they start this drive from their own 15. Going right to work up top. And the quarterback goes down all the way back at his 4-yard line.
Well, I think one of the biggest reasons why this team is finding themselves in a hole here in the first half is this has been a sack party. They can't keep the defense off of their quarterback. They haven't been able to get the ball deep down the field, throwing it with the consistency they want because they can't keep their quarterback standing up straight.
These guys are bringing serious heat. They are like sharks swarming and just getting after the passer. And he got a hand in there, knocks it away, incomplete. Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. Third and long, backed up inside their 20. Looking downfield, and from his own end zone, the punt is away. He'll field the punt and try to make something happen. Not able to pop the big return, but they got the ball back and ready to go with a fresh possession. Trying to start the drive with a pass. Catch in the middle, it's Johnson.
Nice job by the wide receiver getting open on that slant route against man coverage. He fakes like he's going to the outside. He's able to create some separation, cross his face, and then secures the catch.
Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play call and everyone on the same page here. Quick pass to the left, tries to get it to the mark. Offense has gained momentum with third down conversions like that. They've got it at the 25. Off play action on first down. And he dropped it, just didn't look the thing all the way in. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Couldn't connect on first down, now back to the air. Finds his man, it's Johnson. They'll use a timeout right before halftime, maybe time for one or two more plays. And it's third down, but they're going to go ahead and try the field goal and try to get points before the break. Oh, he missed it. No good. It's still a three-point game after the miss.
Oh, man, the dreaded doink. And you knock it off the crossbar. Those are ones where, man, just a couple inches to the other side, towards the middle, and that thing's in, but it still counts as a missed opportunity.
And as we wind down here in the first half, the offense will just take a knee and try to muster its forces for the second half attack as they trail going to the break. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
All right, guys, thanks. Looks like we've had ourselves a very enjoyable first half so far. And a lot of coaches will say limiting the big plays and maybe hitting on a few yourself is key. But I'm more of a move the chains guy. Give me efficiency every day of the week and twice on Saturday. The offensive unit that subscribes to the less is more philosophy might be the one that leaves here today with a big fat W.
They're lined up and ready to kick off this second half. And he'll bring it out of the end zone. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Let's see what this offense has dialed up this time. Coming out on first down with the play fake. And the quick shuffle pass underneath. And they pick up just a few on that completion. Plenty of work to do here on second and long. They'll leave it with the lone back. There he goes. He'll get it up to about the 32-yard line before he stopped, and it'll be first down.
Well, you wonder if one of the adjustments they made at halftime, trailing in this game, was to try and get the ground game established, David. They're off to a good start here.
Dang right. Stay patient. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to press. Just try to get scoring drives together. Don't abandon the run.
Might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again. They finally get a hold of him, knocking him down behind the line of scrimmage. He had been running wild. To the air on second down. Under fire. And the defense, they've got him at the 27.
Well, we've seen this offense struggle early in this game, protecting the quarterback. They went in at halftime, thought they had made the right adjustments, but it's not looking like it right now. They're still having issues keeping this guy standing up straight. Up front, they're just getting beat across the board.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On third and long, no secret what he needs here. And the ball comes out. What a disastrous play. Defense has it, they're on the move. And he's going to take that fumble all the way back for a touchdown.
And the defense comes with the blitz. Nice job getting to the quarterback. And don't just get there. Try to strip that football out and get the QB to the ground. The ball's out. They scoop it up and take it all the way back to
for a successful drive. He'll keep it himself. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. Keeping it on the ground with the running back. He had all kinds of company as soon as he got it. He had to fight his way back just to get to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down. The punt team makes its way onto the field. He's getting a lot of work. 4th time he's punted tonight. Fields the punt and tries to work it the other way. That's a perfect example of not settling for a fair catch. Pick up whatever yardage you can and help out the offense. Wants to go up top on 1st down. He's got an open man. And this defense was flailing as he weaved his way and got down to the 26.
One of the things I love about the passing game we've seen on offense so far here is just how good the decisions have been by the quarterback. He's not being too greedy. When the shot plays have been there, he's taken them, and they've scored points because of that, but he just takes what the defense gives him, and you're just whittling away, and you're marching the ball down the field. Really good decisions by the QB.
New set of downs right on the doorstep for this offense. Gets it out quickly. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is.
Offside, defense.
And you got to focus, right? The first thing you're looking at as a defensive lineman, the first thing you understand is the ball starts with a snap kick. I have to line up, see the ball. When the ball moves, I move. I know it's simple, but you still see guys jumping off sides all the time.
Looking for just one more yard. It's 2nd and goal. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Remember, they missed a field goal on their last drive, but at the very least, they need to get back in field goal range here. The final gut punch. Touchdown on the short run.
Yeah, and you failed on 1st and 2nd, but on 3rd down, you give it to the big fullback, and he does the rest. Lower the shoulder, lower the pads, run physical, and get in that end zone.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And he knocked that one right down the middle. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. Kickoff unit has been busy as they have built a big lead, and they're trying to hold on to it. He'll return it. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. And let's see what kind of ball plays this offense has ready. Give to the running back. Creates a little room.
And winning 1st downs is a priority for a defense, and you can't get bludgeoned. You can't get physically beat at the point of attack. You know the percentages. It's usually pretty good on 1st down that they're going to run the football. So then
Breaks into the open. Just keep moving this thing forward. He's out of bounds. They'll mark him down at the 37-yard line.
And I love that decision by this quarterback. No monkeying around, man. Get to the spot, get the 1st down, lower your shoulder. I don't need a big play. I just want another set of downs. Nice job running the option, knowing where the 1st down marker is.
Looking for room. It's Martin. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. The give. Pretty good effort on that one to work his way up to the 42. And this offense just can't afford not to get the 1st down here. Already trailing big, and the clock is not their friend. Caught close to the marker, it's Hawkins. This senior showed some serious arm strength firing that one in for the 1st down. They'll try the run. Nice move to keep running.
And that would be the definition of 1st down success. Putting yourself in a good position can do whatever I want next. I can take a shot down the field. I can run the football, get a new set of downs. Like, nice first down execution.
And they make the tackle, but it'll be enough for a first down, and we'll see if they get another play off here in the third. What a day it's been on the ground for these two guys, and they just seem to get stronger as the game goes along as we take a look at the numbers. One more quarter to play, and it might be unlikely, but hey, it's college football. Comebacks happen. So first down will open up the final period. Looking to throw on first down. Quarterback feeling that pressure, and he's knocked down at the 42.
What a beautiful day for the defense. A sack for you. A sack for you. Everybody gets a sack. Everything good happening for this defense.
That last play, the kind of thing that can mess up a really good drive. It's 2nd and 17. Looking for space. It's Marsh. Oh, he's got some space. Ran right through the defender, and now he's still running. They get him stopped, but the big gain has him on the doorstep. Let's mark it at the 13.
Well, obviously the offense went 3 and out on their last drive. They're having a little bit more success here. That was a nice run, and I think that's the key, guys. If they're able to run the football, they're going to be able to stay on the field. And I think that's something you want to think more about if you're the play caller on offense.
Off the play fake on first down to throw. He's got it and still on his feet. They get it down to the 7 on that pass play in prime position for a score. The play action fake. Here's the pressure. And he is snowed under. Sacked at the 7.
You know, one of the tricky parts with play action for a quarterback is that when you turn your back to the defense to sell the play fake, you have no idea what's going on behind you. You don't know what the coverage has become, and you don't know which D linemen have won their one-on-ones. The worst thing is you turn around after the play fake, and bam! That defender's right in your face.
Boy, they'd love to move the sticks here and take a shot at it on 1st and goal. Out of the shotgun on 3rd down. And he feels the heat coming, and it burns him up. Another sack.
You know, I love defensive ends that are active and violent with their hands. Great job fundamentally by that D end getting that sack.
Down in the 4th quarter, it's too late for empty possessions. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Looking for the score. Drop the football, and they'll turn it over on downs. Desperately wanted to keep the ball, but they did not. Starts a drive trying to go up top. Makes the grab. Stopped at the 24-yard line after the 10-yard gain. 1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line. Running back searching for a hole. And this one will be stopped for no gain. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Rides the back on the option to give. And he broke one tackle on the way to a solid pickup there. It'll be 3rd and short from their own 33. Off the RPO, fire right, trying to convert. And boy, is he close to that first down, maybe just a couple of inches short. And let's hold on just a minute here as the officials are going to have a second look. And you know the standard is indisputable video evidence, and the officials will change the call. Quick release on the RPO. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. This drive opens up at the 23-yard line. Looking downfield on first down. Got it in the middle is Richard. That one could really put this drive into high gear as they have a first down at the 37.
All right. That does it for game 3 of week 2. And first of all, welcome and thank you to some of the new viewers that I got watching and hanging out with me tonight. I always appreciate it. So, I'm going to go through the stats real quick for anyone that wants to keep track of the stats at home. That's what I do at the end of every game. I've got to use the play now mode here, so we can't keep track of the stats in game. We've got to do that yourself. So I'm probably not going to be doing that. But if anyone at home wants to keep track of these, you're welcome to pause the screen at a later date and write this stuff down. So Morgan City falls, drops their second game to Ellender this time. And it looked like Morgan City got off to a good start in this one. They got off to a hot start actually, taking the early lead, something they had an opportunity to do last week against Terrebonne, but failed to capitalize on that. This week they were able to take the lead, but Ellender came roaring back, and even at halftime, Morgan City was still in it for a little while. But then Morgan City started doing Morgan City things, unfortunately, and the game quickly got out of hand, as we saw there with a couple of turnovers that were picked up for touchdowns. So, just a quick reminder, I do have a preview show that I did, and all of this stuff is, some of the stuff is still posted here on Twitch. As always, you're going to catch me live on Twitch here, and then after the fact, things will get posted to my YouTube channels. You can always go back if you miss something. You can go back to the YouTube channel, and I've got some playlists created there, and I've got the preview show up there where I preview all 8 of the teams that I'm using for this series, and then I've also got intro where I kind of talk about the whole creation process. It's a bit lengthy, but there's a lot of information in there where I discuss the whole creation of the teams and why I did what I did and that type of stuff. Um, and then in there, I've also got week 1 just got posted today to the YouTube channel. So all of week 1 is in its own playlist. You can go back there and you can catch all the action from week 1. All 4 games are separated individually that way. So that's something to look out for. Make sure you like and subscribe here on Twitch and on YouTube so you don't miss any of this action. These are local high school football teams from South Louisiana, including my former high school. And again, that information is hint, hint in the intro show. So, the preview show and the intro. So you can go check that out and get all that information, all that juicy information. All right, let's go to Ellender stats real quick. And we're going to look at the passing stats here. Looks like Justin Belliot did pretty good, had a pretty good solid game here. Rushing stats, SJ had another solid performance, a few more yards than last week it looks like. So yeah, Ellender is going to improve to 2-0. And then we've got one more game lined up for tonight. It's the final game for week 2, so we're going to go to that and here in just a minute and see how that works out. We've got Terrebonne, who came off of a victory against this Morgan City team last week. So Terrebonne is sitting at 1-0, and they're traveling down to South Lafourche to play the South Lafourche Tarpons, who are coming off of, ironically, a multiple overtime loss to these Ellender Patriots last week. So both of these teams faced both of the next 2 teams last week. Just weird how that worked out. But all right, these are the final stats for Ellender. Here's the punting stats. So we'll go back to this. All right, that does it for game 3 of week 2. So I'm about to switch over. Just give me a second, and I'm gonna go to an intermission screen real quick while I get things set up in the background, and then we'll be right back with game 4 to finish off week 2. Be right back.